I am an old man now. My hands shake when I lift my tea, and my voice creaks like the floorboards in the house I built long after the war. But memory is sharp. It has teeth. When you ask me where I come from, I do not begin with the life I made. I begin with the life that was taken and the one that somehow survived. My name is Edward. I was born Jewish, raised with prayers whispered at night and bread broken carefully so there would be enough for everyone. My younger brother Jonathan followed me everywhere. He had a laugh that cut through worry, even when worry filled the room like smoke. When the soldiers came, there was no laughter. They took us early in the morning, boots on stone, shouting. A neighbor's window closing too fast. Jonathan gripped my coat so tightly I could feel his fingers through the fabric. We were herded onto trains and sent to the camps. I won't name them here. Names give shape to nightmares, and I have lived long enough carrying them. Days passed in hunger and counting footsteps, counting breaths, counting the men who did not rise when the whistle blew. And yet, this is the truth. There were moments of kindness. A crust of bread slipped from one hand to another, a joke murmured after lights out. We made friends because we had to, because loneliness was another kind of death. Sometimes the guards threw us scraps and called it mercy. We learned to stretch it, to make a meal from almost nothing. It was there that I met Emily Frank. She was about my age, eyes too old for her face, hair pulled back not for style, but survival. She spoke softly, as if the world might shatter if she didn't. One evening, as we stood in line, she offered me half her ration. I tried to refuse. She looked at me like she already knew I would fail. "Tomorrow," she said, "you can give me yours." Tomorrow was never promised. That was the joke we all shared and hated. Jonathan noticed her before I admitted anything to myself. He nudged me with his elbow and whispered, "You're smiling, Eddie." I hadn't smiled in months. That scared me more than the guards. The idea to escape came to me like a foolish prayer. I found a spoon, bent, worn, barely a tool at all. At night, when the camp settled into its uneasy quiet, a few of us took turns scraping at the earth beneath a loose board. The ground was hard and cold, and our hands bled. We hid the dirt in our pockets, scattered it slowly, patiently. Hope is a quiet thing. It doesn't shout. It works. Emily knew. She always knew. She pressed her hand into mine before the night we planned to go. "If we run," she said, "we run together." We did. I remember the sound of breath in the tunnel, the scrape of cloth, the fear that the earth would decide to close its mouth and swallow us whole. I remember Jonathan going first, brave as ever. When we broke through on the other side, the air tasted different. Free air tastes like metal and rain and tears all at once. Not all of us made it. That truth lives with me. Survival is not a medal you wear proudly. It is a weight you carry quietly. The years after were slow and strange. The world moved on, but we learned how to move with it. Emily and I married under an open sky, no walls, no whistles. We built a family with care, as if every child were a promise kept. Our home filled with noise and spilled milk and arguments over bedtime. Ordinary miracles. Jonathan never married. The war took something from him that love could not quite return. But he stayed. He became the best uncle I have ever known. A stay-at-home uncle, he called himself, watching the children while Emily and I worked, teaching them card tricks, making them laugh when the past crept too close. His laughter came back, softer, but real. Now, when my grandchildren ask why I tell this story, I tell them the truth. I tell them because memory is a form of resistance, because love survived where hatred tried to bury it, because a spoon, a handful of friends, and the courage to hope can change the shape of a life. I am Edward. I am old. I am still here. And that, in itself, is a story worth telling.